He has the power to edit everything out, so I can't even say what I'm really thinking right now. Oh, is you still stripping that? Oh. I'm just kidding, no, you're taking you're so serious, man. He's not only a videographer, he's also a customer, so I don't know how to treat you right now, man. Like, are you on the clock? Are you off the clock? What is this? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Miguel. Today we're gonna be doing a little blog with Noe, the videographer.
Live after the haircut, not a vlog.
Oh shit.
We'll
do the intro later.
It's all good. I'll just keep it like that.
So what's your full name and what do you do, man?
So I'm Noe. I'm the videographer here for Premium Barbers.
What's your role in the company, man?
And Miguel, what's my role?
First of all, he needs to play at least half an hour each day of Street Fighter. It's a requirement.
So I do other content for them.
So there's a rumor going around here in Salinas, man, that before you started working here at Premium Barbers, that you were working for Pornhub. Can you confirm or deny that?
I cannot talk about that. I can't talk about that.
If you guys are curious about that, go to the site, look for the credits. If you see his name, please leave it in the comments below.
We're gonna spend a couple hours there.
For personal research.
Well, try to find my name.
So, Noe, how did you land this job here at Premium Barbers? Tell us a little bit about how that came about.
You want me to start from the beginning or just like from 2 months ago?
You tell the audience what you would like them to know about you. If you get too personal, you know, they might like it or they might hate it. So it's really up to you where you want to take this conversation. It's okay, man. Don't be nervous. I know it's our first time in front of the camera, but it's okay.
Okay, so I started here with Miguel at Premium Barbers when, well, he was still at privilege when he found out that I did video work. And every time I would come in to get a haircut, he would always tell me, "Hey, I want to start my own YouTube channel. Hey, I want to do this. I want to do that." So maybe like a year later?
Yeah, it seems like a year later.
Year and a half? So about a year and a half after us talking about, or him asking me questions on how to do video, that's when, so I tried to teach him how to do it, but I guess you didn't have time?
I just couldn't figure it out, to be honest. I felt like there was a lot of work for me to learn how to edit the videos. So I did a few recordings, but it never went past that, just a few recordings.
So after what a year and a half, it got more serious, and we negotiated and I started working here.
Tell the audience, man, are you a part-time, full-time?
I am full-time here at Premium Barbers.
Yes, sir. You in the back.
So what got you into being a videographer? Or what made you? Do you still remember the first time you picked up a camera?
So the first time I ever picked a camera, like I was like a little kid. I don't remember how old I was, but I was a little kid. My dad had a. Do you remember the one with the cassette cameras?
Damn,
the VHS?
We're going that far back?
Man, how old are you, know, for the audience to know, man? And like, were you around when the dinosaurs were roaming the streets?
I'm not that old. So yeah, he had one of those VHS camcorders. And then I would always see well, back then the news reporters would have their own cameraman. I was like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be the person holding the camera. But I didn't get my first camera until I was like in my early 20s. That's when I got my first camera.
So once you play with the camera a little bit, where was your first actual video that you shot that made it to let's say YouTube or something?
I'm lying. I started with my iPhone 4 at that time.
Oh yeah.
Not the 4S, right? Just
No.
the regular 4?
Yeah, the 4.
Man, the real OG phones.
That brings me back to middle school days.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever attempted to do any sort of video.
No, the question was that how much was the tuition or man hours that you put into learning?
I probably went like 3-4 years of researching, practice, research, practice, more research.
And then when you learned something new, did you implement that into?
Yeah, so I would go out and shoot, and it would come out crappy. And then I would go back to YouTube and look it up how to do it better. And then I would go back and practice again, and then it would come out crappy. So I'd go back to YouTube, do more research, do more studying.
And so you were the way you were self-taught, huh? I mean, YouTube was your instructor, but you were able to.
Yeah, pretty much.
So what can you tell people who are always saying like, oh, I don't have money to learn this, or I don't have the time to do this? Is there any advice you have for them?
When I started this, I wasn't working at that time because I couldn't work. So I didn't have a lot of money to buy expensive gear or to buy anything expensive.
So what you're telling me is start with what you have.
Well, I started with an iPhone 4, with the iPhone 4.
And who bought you that phone?
I did.
See, so you don't need expensive stuff to get going,
Well,
right?
Well, I didn't buy it for video. I just bought it because I needed a phone. And at that time, they were like $400 for an iPhone.
Man. So you mean I could have bought a clipper and a trimmer with that?
Well, I needed a phone, so that's why I bought it. And then, like a year later, I was like, oh, the phone has a camera, so I don't need to buy a camera. I could just use what's on my phone. And then once I outgrew it, that's when I got my first camera.
What kind of camera did you get?
I bought a Canon DSLR. I think at the time it was like $500.
So it was a $100 upgrade right there.
Yeah, but for me at the time it was really expensive. Well, I felt like it was expensive.
Yeah, especially if you're not working, right?
Yeah.
In your journey, did you work at other places besides just doing videographer?
Like other jobs?
Yeah, did you have other jobs in the meanwhile?
So when I got out of high school, it was like a summer job, just painting houses. And then I started working at a restaurant. So I was 19 at that time. And that's when I had to stop working. So I didn't have a job for like 8 years.
So you're telling me you have only worked at 2 places ever in your life?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5?
Yeah.
5 places. Did it teach you anything with videography along the way?
Not at that time because I wasn't. Because during that time I didn't really think about it.
All right, Vic, you have a good one, man.
All right, see you guys.
See ya. So I remember I went to a wedding, and when I saw the video, I was like, oh, I could do that. So this is like my early 20s. Like I could do that. And then I saw how much they were charging.
Ooh.
So that's how I got. That's what made me.
Was that your motivation there? Oh, that's where you got your interest got renewed.
Yeah. So when I was younger, like my teens, I didn't really think about video.
So why did you think you stopped?
I mean, well, I was a little kid when I saw the reporters and their crew. And then when you're a little kid, there's a lot of I want to do that, I want to do this.
Oh yeah, that's definitely all of that.
Yeah, so when I saw that wedding video, I was like, oh, I can do that. Like I said, during that time I was not working, so I was like, I could do that as a like a hobby where I could make some money, because I couldn't work.
So did you do any weddings?
I've done a few since then. I've done some, but during that time, my friend was in a band, so I just started taking pictures for them, video for them. So I like that side of better though.
What's up, guys?
Hey, good
What's
morning.
up?
Yeah, man. So good to see you.
Hey, what up?
Sorry. No, you're good, man.
So yeah, I started taking pictures and video for them, for the live performances. So I started trying to do more of that stuff, and whatever came up, just trying to do it. And then I started traveling with bandas. I've done work for the city,
And what city is that?
Salinas.
Have you worked with anybody famous besides Premium Barbers?
Like Premium Barbers. Well, my friend that I work with, pretty much I've started working with him pretty much since day one. He has over 500,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel.
So if you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We want to get to those numbers.
I've worked with other artists, not as famous as him, but
Hey, how's it going, man? So you're telling me now that you never gave up on your dream that you had since a little kid.
well, at one point I did. You gotta grow up. You can't do it as a hobby anymore.
What job did you do first? The first time that you ever got paid doing something like this?
For video?
Yeah.
So the first time I ever got paid, because I used to do a lot of free work when I first started. The first time I ever got paid was I started working with a banda. I got paid $100 for the day. So from the time that I got with them to me finishing the video, I probably put in like 25 hours, 30 hours.
30 hours and you made $100?
Yeah.
I mean, we all hear that videographers charge a lot. How come you weren't charging a lot then?
Well, it was my first paying job that I had, and I was still pretty new to it. So that's why I didn't charge a lot, because I was just trying to get it. Yeah, 30 hours. 30 hours for $100.
That's what I say every fucking year.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
If you could give some advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Work more, take more risks.
A lot of
When
risks.
you don't have that responsibility of life, that's when you need to take all the risks.
So if you're married, have kids, don't take any risks. If
Oh.
you're young, single, and
It's a lot harder because now you have a family to take care of. You can't, especially if they're relying on you. It's harder to take a risk. But when you're younger, with little to no responsibility, you can risk it, you know.
so you ladies heard it here. He's willing to take that risk. If you had to choose your ideal job, what would it be?
I have it.
Man. Are you just saying that because I have the razor to your neck?
I was a little kid, I wanted to do it. I started as a hobby. I almost gave it up. You know, the opportunity came up, and I took it.
So
Working here with you, I was able to have that job. I've been working on it almost 10 years.
so the audience knows you made my dream come true because I wanted to be a YouTuber for a very long time. And you have said that was your dream job. So I guess we're making each other's dreams come true. Oh, Heavenly Father, forgive us for our sins. Oh, he's being very brave in front of the camera. He usually cries at this moment. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment below, and we'll see you guys on the next one.